The Angus industry and Angus business has always been an important part of me. I remember going to all the Angus sales with my dad. We had a 3,500 acre cattle ranch. We had about 1,200 commercial Angus cows and ran about 12,000 head of stocker cattle a year. I really enjoyed it, and that was just kind of how life was for me. But as I moved on to college, I began to realize that a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to grow up on a farm or ranch or even in the cattle business at the level I did. So my appreciation for farm and ranch life really grew and developed as I went into college. And as I began to work on different farming operations across the country, I realized the diversity of agriculture and of the cattle business that we have. And I really began to develop a passion for the cattle business and to understand that's where I want to set my career goals. That's where I want to work with all the different producers and to help them use the tools that they best have at their hands and to make the most that we can of our cattle business that we have today. Agriculture has a lot of people out there that do not understand what we do, and as we know, a large portion, majority of the United States population is not involved in agriculture. So we have a hill to climb in agriculture when it comes to sharing our story. And who's better to tell that story than the farmers and ranchers that are in the field doing the work, along with the people who are involved in ag industry. And I'm able to use social media as an outreach to do that. Most of it's just telling my story, my experiences in agriculture. Facebook is one of the most commonly visited websites on the internet today. It's great for networking. Twitter is like a big coffee shop where we're able to go out and to talk to people of all kinds of backgrounds and everything. And blogging is a great way to tell that story because anyone involved in agriculture knows that a snapshot does not do it justice. A snapshot cannot involve the whole growing season or the cattle production from birth to weaning or year-round cattle management. So blogging and using social media is a way to tell that story continuously. I think that's the heart of social media, is to build relationships with individuals, not only of our like mind, but to branch out into other circles. My mentors in my life have varied because I've been in several different regions of the country. Growing up, obviously, my dad was my mentor. I had different professors that really kind of became my mentors, teach me the diversity of things. I grew up on one farming operation, but as I began to get out and work with different producers, I realized that there's different ways that we can do things. And one guy that I really appreciated was Jason Floyd, working at a feed yard out in Dalhart, Texas. He really taught me the value of being able to work in a large operation with a large number of individuals from very diverse backgrounds. And to be able to learn from the older generation is really valuable to me because I feel that my millennial generation, we're wanting to go and get things done. We want it now. We've got so much at our hands that we want things to happen very quickly. But I feel like the older generations, they have experience and a wealth of knowledge and have been through very many of the trials and tribulations that I'll experience in my life. So the more I can learn from them at this stage and to apply it to my wealth of knowledge, the better off I'll be down the road. And I think that there's so many young people that are interested in returning to their family farms, their family operations, or even starting an operation of their own. I know being involved in the cattle industry isn't always something that we can just walk up and start. And so if the older generations and our mentors would really open the doors for younger people to gain the experience to get started in the cattle business, that we'll be better off and have a very bright future for the cattle industry. The Angus breed is very adaptable. We have different breed lines and genetics across the breed that are adaptable to several different environments across the country. And as land is a valuable resource and as younger producers are looking to invest in that land and to start their own operations, I know that they'll be able to find Angus breeds and Angus genetics that will help them to adapt to that climate and to be able to succeed in establishing their own operations and becoming involved in the industry.